Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about The Dead from 2010. This is the third attempt I've done to record a review of this film. And I'm having trouble because there's so much that I want to say, so much I want to impart, and I'm having trouble finding the words, to be honest with you. This movie hit me from out of nowhere. I hadn't heard of it before. I didn't see any of the previews. I just stumbled upon it. Honestly, it was 6 in the morning on Saturday when I started watching this. I sat down at my desk, sleepy-eyed, and right away I knew this was a special film. And I'm going to say already, because I'm not going to give you the full, absolutely ruining review where I tell you everything like I do most either old movies I know you probably won't seek out or movies I know you've already seen. I'll go through it all because it's not going to be a spoiler. You haven't seen Dawn of the Dead yet? This movie, I really feel, is just starting to be passed around. From what I'm told, it's on Zune. I guess you can get it through your Xbox 360. You cannot get it on Netflix. I've looked. It shows it, but it says it's not available. I know you can download it on a BitTorrent as well. But I'm not going to ruin this. I'm going to tell you bits about it here and there because I want to compel you to see this, but I don't want to ruin it for you. This movie was not made by a big studio. And the people that made this film, the Ford brothers, took a chance. You've seen so many zombie movies. It's all fucking shake and bake, man. It's the zombies and the people and the witty dialogue. And we run and then we have a headshot. And one by one we lose our cast until almost everyone's dead. And and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm sitting here mocking it, but it's something that I love. These two guys took a chance and did a lot of stuff differently. And to me, and this is, keep in mind, I've seen more zombie movies than you have. I don't care who you are. I've probably seen more zombie movies than you have, okay? And that's just the way it is. But this movie is already among my favorite zombie films of all time. And I'm not shy about loving George Romero's Big Three, about Return of the Living Dead Part 1. I know it's campy and they talk, but I love the movie anyway. And I definitely love The Dead from 2010, and I hope to put enough across to you that you'll at least check it out. This movie was special for many reasons. One, it was a compelling story. The action, this is a slow zombie film. To me, this seemed real, to where if we're going to suspend disbelief and zombies are going to happen, this is how they would be. They're slow, they're lumbering, but more so, they're absolutely mechanical and determined, okay? And I love, don't get me wrong, I love fast-running zombies. I want the zombies to be right on my ass as I'm running and screaming. I love that shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these guys that has the problem. Well, it's too fast or too slow. I don't care. Really, is that I got to get so nerded out? That's what I got to nitpick on? Fucking speed of the zombie? Anyway, some of you do, and that's way more than I want to give it. But this would be, I think if it really happened, how it would happen. These things are slow and they're lumbering. The killing in this movie, they pulled no punches. It was good to see. I enjoyed most every death that I saw. It was fairly brutal. A little bit of CGI was involved in this, but you know what? Not nearly as much as I'm seeing. What they did do was great angles, great work. This movie's set in Africa, which to me sets it apart from any zombie movie that I can think of that I've ever seen. Really in Africa, though. I mean, you can see you're out in the fucking... this is really Africa. Not a movie that pretends to be somewhere. This movie was filmed entirely in Africa, and we start off in the middle of the Great Escape as the last plane is leaving Africa with American and British, I'm assuming, survivors as they're trying to get out. The escape was poorly planned. The plane wasn't ready, and due to some commotion inside, the flight's a bit tense, and due to leaving in a hurry before it was fully fueled, they run out of fuel. And the plane is going down, and it's a beautiful shot as it's crashing above and through and over, I guess, a village where people are having just as much chaos on the ground as they are in the air. A man washes ashore. He's an American. He's an engineer from the Air Force. And there's another guy on the beach whose kneecap looks like it's peeled off nicely, and he's got a broken arm, and he's trying to scoot away because the zombies are coming. And another soldier goes running out of the water, running by, who's apparently physically well able, and is like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here, and runs into the bushes and leaves his compadres behind. And this one man the guy who was on the plane, the engineer, just kind of gathers up some stuff that he finds there in a crate and heads back into Africa, back into the bush. You notice right away in this film the landscapes are beautiful. Yeah, I'm one of those suckers, man. I've enjoyed Mutual of Omaha's, kingdom and all this crap all my life. And I always love seeing Africa, the beautiful landscapes and the sun, how the whole sky turns red. It's just gorgeous. And this movie gave us a lot of beautiful stuff to look at. And he's wandering around and he's trying to figure out what the hell he's going to do. He's got no food. He's got a couple of bullets. And it's kind of his story as he's trying to make his way to somewhere where he can find some safety. And this is kind of what we would all do. You wander around, you give all these zombies a wide berth, and you try to avoid them. He finds a village, finds a car, gets it going. It looks like a Ranchero. I'm not sure. If you could combine a Datsun and a Ranchero, it would be this. But he runs into a mess that he can't get out of, and his life is saved by an African soldier. And the two need each other. See, and this is where we kind of, it goes from being a very brutal zombie film to a very brutal zombie film with a really deep social message that many of us here living in the States would overlook. I mean, it's like the soldier says, "I don't understand your people." And I'm paraphrasing. You send your bombs over here to kill us, and then you send us your medics to make us well. I don't understand the white men. And these two are very unlikely as a pair where they are, but they need each other. The American has the car, and the African guy, well, he has a better weapon and simply the knowledge of where they are and where they're going. And each has his own little agenda on what he wants to get out of this situation. I mean, nothing shitty. I mean, they're not trying to scam on each other, but they each have a separate goal. And it becomes a story not only of the zombies and the apocalypse, but their friendship of necessity as they travel through Africa and kind of watch out for each other. The American's just looking for a way to get home. The African guy's just looking for his son. That's all he wants in the world. And the people they meet along the way, and the stories, and the bravery. God, this is a good movie. It really is. And I was blown away to see that it only has I think 5 stars on IMDb. Blown away by that. I don't know. This seemed to do everything right. The action was very good. And this is going to be my ignorance, and this may be fucked up. A lot of the zombies in this film were missing body parts in real life. So I'm like, wow, they hired motherfuckers that have been, in these Tutsi and fucking battles that have lost their limbs, and I really think they did. But one thing that's striking about this is these people are running into them from different tribes, and like the American guy says, well, what's going on? And the guy says, he says, real simple. We're not fighting each other anymore. We're together because we have a new war to fight. And yeah, they're working towards the social message, but I appreciate this because this was planned and they put feeling behind it. It wasn't accidental because people talk about, and I've even mentioned in the past, the social relevance and messages in Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. And you know what? And Night of the Living Dead. And I think really a lot of that is said in retrospect. I think George made the movies that he made damn good movies, but I don't think he was really sitting around thinking about the impact of Dwayne Jones was going to have in this movie, or that Dawn of the Dead was, people are going to look back and think about, man, what a monument to consumerism and all this other bullshit. It's like he said, I made it a mall because, I knew people that owned a mall and we could have it all night to ourselves. That's not to say he isn't a smart filmmaker, but this movie here had real intent in its message. It's real. And I've seen some reviews, people are like, fuck this movie's slow and it's boring. You know what? Yeah, it's not a fast-paced film. To me, that's kind of what made it real. And the fear and the desperation of these two, for the unknown and for the things they know. The fact that they know even if everything works out fucking great, what do we have? I mean, I really enjoyed this film, and it's beautiful. My God, this film's beautiful. So definitely check out The Dead from 2010, and I don't care how you get it. Watch it online, whatever. Watch it on Zune. Let these filmmakers, let them know you like their film. Let them make a little money. Spend some Microsoft points on this. I'm actually sending McPierce a copy, but I'm fairly sure that he'll buy it and put it on his Xbox anyway because it's that good of a film. And, these guys take chances. I've never seen a zombie movie really set in Africa, and the coordination it must have taken to pull this off. And the special effects are great. It opens up with a guy who's got a severely, his leg it hurt to watch this sequence. You'll know the guy. I mean, he's walking. It honestly looks like this actor had horribly broken his leg at some point and never saw any doctor for it, because his leg is kind of spun sideways and he walks kind of like his knee is almost bending the wrong way. And, and the leg you can see is really atrophied. So it's like, fuck, man, this is real. This isn't some guy with some special, this isn't Tom Savini making some, okay, you're crazy leg man. This is some dude that lives out in the bush, with a fucked up leg. And I don't know. I've watched this twice now, and I'm going to watch it twice more in the next coming weeks, because I want to pick up on the things that I've missed. Yeah, it probably won't be your favorite zombie film, but when you watch it, you're going to say to yourself, "Wow, that was weird." It didn't have all the flash and the bang, but it's a damn good zombie film. And like I said, it's one of my new favorites of all time. I just love the twist on this, and I just love the honesty of it. God. Now I feel all dirty. I've been so in love with this zombie film. And I'm not going to give any more away, because like I said, I really like this film. I really want you to see it. Yeah, there's some slow parts, but guess what? If this really happens, life is going to be a collection of slow parts and a bunch of really scary, fucked up parts put together that glues it all together. That's how life would be. Maybe that's why I like this. These zombies aren't talking. They're doing what zombies do, And this undoubtedly to me is the most original zombie film I've seen maybe since Day of the Dead. And Day of the Dead wasn't all that original. It was just I don't know. And don't get me wrong, love it. But I mean, George really did some great stuff with Night and then with Dawn. And to me, Day was a logical extension in a new location with some new dynamics. But it was still a great film. And this movie here is going to be probably the most original I've seen since then. And well worth your watch, folks. Please, if you watch one movie I've recommended, please let it be this one. Anyway, that's what I've got for this week. I have no idea what I'm watching next week, but it's not going to be as good as this. That fucking sucks. It's like knowing that I played with a Transformer all week, and I got to trade this shit in for a GoBot. Damn. Anyways, you guys have a great week, and talk soon. The Dead. See it. Okay. All right, bye.